Hi friends, this is Pastor Lucas Pina, and this is our snack for the journey. And the snack for the journey this week is in the first book of Kings, the first book of the Kings. A rich book with a lot of stories and history too, but a lot of stories and characters. And we have Solomon in the beginning, and then the kingdom will be split in two, the northern and the southern kingdom. And then we have prophets, we have all the kings from the south, kings from the north, the Israel and then Judah, and all those kind of stories that we have. And one important character in this book here is Elijah. Elijah is a prophet, a very important prophet in the life of Israel, and he has encounters with kings, and he challenged and challenged the false prophets, and there's a lot of stories, and we don't have time to go to all the stories that Elijah has here, but healings and miracles. It's a lot of stuff, and running away from the king and his wife, and it's interesting, the story of Elijah. But there is one text here that has a mention in the New Testament, in the book of James, about prayer and the rain. And Elijah went to talk with one of the worst kings in Israel, Ahab. Ahab was bad, a very bad king, and Elijah had a very tough message for him. But it's not the message itself that I want to share with you, but it's what Elijah said, the words that he used when he talked with Ahab. It's chapter 17, verse 1. It says this: Now Elijah the Tishbite from Tisbeh in Gilead said to Ahab the king, As the Lord the God of Israel lives, whom I serve, there will be neither dew nor rain in the next few years, except at my word. And it happened. It happened. But this text here doesn't have the whole idea that I'd like to share with you. The other translations that are more literal help us to understand that, because he went there to talk with the king, and the king is almost a pagan king, even though they were worshiping the Jehovah, but they worship all the other kings. They have statues and idols everywhere there, and it was a mess. It was almost a pagan king. And there is another translation that I'd like to share with you. The NASB, it says this: Now Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the settlers of Gilead, said to Ahab, As the Lord, the God of Israel lives, before whom I stand, surely there shall be neither dew nor rain these years, except by my word. And I'd like you to get this, pay attention, this very interesting sentence here. Before whom I stand. It's interesting because he was standing right in front of the king with all the idols around him and all the pagan worshippers and priests and everything and counselors that the king had. But he said, you know what? I can be surrounded by all these pagans, idols and priests and everything, but you need to know something. I'm standing right now before the Lord, the God of Israel. And he is a living God. It's a great statement from Elijah, from the prophet. Say, okay, even though I'm right in the middle of a pagan environment, I'm still in the presence of the Lord, and I'm standing in that presence. It's great to know that. You know, we live in a world that is full of paganism. It's full of other gods, other religions, everything. And sometimes we don't know how we are going to walk around all those things and meetings and people. And sometimes we think that, well, God cannot be there. God cannot be here. God cannot. And Elijah helped us to understand that, yes, no matter where you are, you still can be standing in the presence of the living God. And he is there with you. That is a great lesson that we learn with Elijah. And this is your snack for the journey. God bless you.